Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. This is Brad with Being Chill. Today we're going to be unboxing the Sky Blue iPad Air 4th generation 256GB version. But before we get into that, I do want to ask, if you're not already, to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload new videos every week, Monday through Friday. So if you like this content, make sure you subscribe and click that bell, and you can stay up to date on all the latest tech news with me. Now let's get into it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you here. I put a piece of duct tape here. I cut out this little flap so I could cover up the serial number. So if you're wondering why it's like got a piece of duct tape on it right after I do this, that's why. So first off, we're going to peel off this fancy little plastic strip here that Apple likes to include on all their latest products. And we're just going to throw that on the ground behind us. And so we're left with this nice little box. You know, anybody that's had an iPad or an iPhone before, pretty familiar with this type of box. Just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna lift up and pull that off, and you see we have the iPad Air 4 right here, right on top, and you just pull up on this little flap right here, and that reveals the iPad Air 4. Now, like I said, this is the Sky Blue version. You can see the smart connectors down here where you can use the Magic Keyboard and other accessories. You got the nice big Apple logo here, and then you've got the little camera here, not as good as the iPad Pro camera, and this is a microphone here, not a flash, because there's no flash on this iPad. So I'm going to go ahead and peel this up right here. Very satisfying. And I can already tell this thing is going to be a fingerprint magnet, so try to excuse that as much as possible, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to boot her up. And for those of you that don't know, there is going to be Touch ID up here in the power button. And from what I've heard, these speaker grills are, some of these are just aesthetic because there's only 2 speakers in here, but they have the 4 speaker grills. But I'm sure they still help with the speaker volume somehow. So getting into it, we got the traditional hello screen and your traditional setup here. So I'm going to set this aside because this is my girlfriend, so I'm going to let her set this up with her iPhone, and then after we do that, I'm going to come back to it. But for now, I'm going to set that right there. I'm going to show you what's in the box here. So, you know, you got your paperwork here, and you know, for those of you that watched my iPad Air 4 leaks video, you've probably seen this paperwork before. Basically just stuff nobody ever reads, really. Warranty information, 2 Apple stickers. For some reason I thought there would only be 1, but maybe they're only doing that with the new iPhones. And you've got your USB-C to USB-C cable right here, and you've got your 20-watt USB-C charging brick here. And this is going to be slightly faster than the one that comes with the iPad Pros. That one is only 18 watts, and this one is the higher 20-watt version. But if you have an iPad Pro and you want to get the faster one, you can buy this from Apple. I think it's like $20 right now, so you can check that out. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to set up the iPad Air 4, and I'll be right back. So I came back in the middle of setting it up. It's going to ask her to set up Touch ID while she's setting it up with her iCloud, but I want to bring that back in here just so I can show you guys how it works. So like I said, up here on the power button, there's going to be a Touch ID sensor, and as I move my finger around it here, it's going to set up very similarly to the older iPhones with the like the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 6 and 8 that had the fingerprint and the home button. So you just want to make sure you cover it completely, which is apparently a problem. Capture all of your fingerprint. We're good on that. And then you're going to want to get the edges here. Not really sure how this works, how it gets all of your fingerprint, or just enough of it. I'm really not sure. Well, clearly there's some issues there, but I don't really know what's going on with that. But if you run into that issue, maybe this is a bigger deal, but I haven't really seen any other people talking about this, but I don't know, maybe my fingerprint's messed up somehow. But anyway, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back now. I think the reason why the Touch ID pairing failed was because her phone was in the other room while we were setting it up, and the failing was not actually on the Touch ID, but on the data transfer process. But after that screen, it basically just asks you to enable Siri and things like that. But as you can see here, the Touch ID is actually pretty fast, and it did actually get my fingerprint working, even though it said failed. But if you just rest your finger on the top here, it's not going to turn on. So you're either going to have to tap the screen here and put your finger here, or you're going to have to click it with your finger on it. And they're both pretty fast, and as you can see, it's pretty snappy. And we'll put it in portrait mode just so you can see that. But you know, overall, definitely a very good tablet, definitely a good one to buy. I have the 12.9-inch iPad Pro myself, and you know, I can't really tell much difference between the two besides the size. Obviously the refresh rate is different. However, I would say, like, if you didn't know about the 120 hertz on the iPad Pro, or you just have never used it before, you're really not going to notice a difference here, and this is going to be perfect for you. And once again, I just kind of want to show you the back of it so you can see how blue it looks. And excuse the fingerprints, but I will say it is kind of a muted blue. You really can only tell it's blue under intense lighting like this, but like in my living room, whenever the lighting is not quite this bright, it looks more silver really than anything. So if you're really hoping to get a nice blue looking tablet, then it's going to look kind of more silver depending on the lighting. So like I said, overall not bad. Then you got your volume buttons here, and there's no other buttons on it from what I can tell. So the next thing I want to mention that I forgot about, this is the Apple Pencil 2nd generation, and as you can see, it's going to magnetically attach directly to the iPad Air 4, and it's going to show you the battery life just like you would with the iPad Pro, and it's going to have a pretty stable connection. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the difference in screen sizes here between the iPad Air 4 and the iPad Pro 12.9-inch. So as you can see, the bezels on the Pro are a little bit slimmer, and the screen size is obviously bigger on the iPad Pro. And there is an 11-inch iPad Pro that you might be more interested in, but if you are curious in seeing the screen size difference between these two, that's it. And then I'll show you guys the differences on the back here. And that's going to be the size difference if you look at it from behind. So obviously not too much different, a little bit smaller here on the iPad Air 4, and the camera's obviously smaller. That wraps it up pretty much. That's the iPad Air 4 unboxing. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and I'll do my best to get to you. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you click that like button. And once again, I upload new videos every week, Monday through Friday. So make sure you subscribe and click that bell so you can stay up to date on all the latest tech news with me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.